You've said that you didn't buy the Bitcoin to sell it, but would MicroStrategy ever take some off the table when you sense the market is at a top and then just buy in later when there's another correction? Or do you just plan to hodl through all the 80% downturns?
Yeah, again, I just disagree with your characterization. I don't expect an 80% downturn. I don't think it's a speculative asset. I don't think you can quote unquote take money off. Hey, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever, Laura.
Yeah.
Yes, man. What is going on? My name is Gerald Peters, and welcome to the Peters Report. Bitcoin. We're talking some Bitcoin. We're talking trading. And man, guys know what I believe. Whatever you think about comes about, man. I promise you, whatever you focus on grows. And I got my friend here, Ethan.
What's up, GP?
What's up, brother? Oh, are we muted still? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Man, I'm a dork. I turned it down. I don't have multiple monitors. I still can't hear her. What the hell? Hold on, man. I can't hear you.
Hello.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. What's up, GP? How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. I don't know what was up there, man. We froze or something.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah, man. Let's pull this up. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, I have two monitors that I'm using here. So when I go to control it, you got to do it a certain way if you want the music from that, whatever you're showing, or the sound to work.
Oh, I see.
There's multiple ways you can do this. And we're trying to do that, talk, trade, and everything else. It gets a little you get yourself twisted, man. You'll be turning your shit off and on and
yeah, absolutely.
A little bit like Bitcoin. The markets are closed today. Today's 6/19, and we're looking at Bitcoin. The great thing about Bitcoin is Bitcoin runs 24/7.
Yes, it sure does.
It does. We were just talking about a little time continuity, and what we were talking about. Let's pull up the daily, I guess, first, huh? Let's see. That's an hourly. So this is Bitcoin on a daily chart. We are at 104,579. We have, looks like the moving averages are crossing, huh?
Yeah, they kind of went flat, or at least the 20's gone flat.
Yeah, and I'm sure you know, but anybody listening, once the moving averages go flat, they're really not of much use. You're basically in a range, right?
Yeah.
And this is what we would call a trading range. And if you ever hear people say that term, all they're meaning is just a place that can kind of be measured. And it's none of this is science. It's more like throwing hand grenades, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty good way to put it. I've never heard it described as that, but yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
So, right around there's a little, obviously the tighter you're trading as a day trader, these numbers make a difference. If you have a support level 10 cents away on a daily, not much difference. And so, I kind of define the range pretty loosely from the daily chart.
Yeah, you could say like between 100,000 and $1.10.
Yeah.
Give or take 109, 110.
Right. So we got about a $10,000 range, right?
Which is pretty crazy to say out loud like that.
Yeah, and as you say it, that's what I was about to say. I mean, that is a big range in my world. It's literally like a stock that has a $10 range and it's a $50 stock. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 20% sweep. And I guess in Bitcoin terms, this is about a 10% top to bottom. But for traders, this can open up money. And as you look at this, where each one of these bars is one full day, you know, if we take this down, I'm going to go ahead and save it. If we take this down to the nearest one, which this thing here, I don't know if my church does this.
I hate when mine does the same thing.
I would love to talk to one of them, and it doesn't.
It's like, where did these moving averages come from? Let me know, please.
Some reason, yeah, when you go to save it. So dropping Bitcoin down to a 60-minute chart, which is 1 hour, we can really begin to see this trading range in full display here. And it's pretty goddamn wide.
Yeah, it is.
So let's say we...
Well, and it's kind of like a weird thing because you have like the psychological 100,000 level, and I mean it's present on the chart too. But when you zoom in, you find more and more levels. It seems like, you know, like like the 102, the 103. You know, you have that resistance at like 105.5. You know, but above that, you have a clean. I mean, you're smooth skies to a 109.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. So here's support, right? In your term?
Yeah.
Kind of plays out all the way over. And really, like Ethan was just saying, through the concept of time continuity, of looking at the range over different time frames, when we look at it on the 1 hour, we can shrink it in. And now this becomes a piece that can be traded, huh?
Yeah.
And we're in the what, 105.25 range to 103. Now we're down to what, $2,000 range?
Yeah.
Now that's a sizable chunk. So okay, we can look at this, say, okay, we want to trade in this range. This 104 is probably a stop. This looks like what, so we're seeing the stage one right here. And as you guys know, sideways up, sideways down, right?
Yeah.
So if you were on a 1 hour and you were going to initiate a trade, what are you dropping down to from here?
For like an entry, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd probably work my way down like 1 hour, 30-minute. Anything below the 30-minute on Bitcoin, I mean, they look like really big moves, and then you zoom out. Like if you go to a 1 minute, you almost lose yourself in the price of the asset, if that even makes sense. But yeah, I think like the 1 hour and the 30 are pretty good for Bitcoin. The money flow patterns on both of those time frames are pretty clean.
That's it. By clean, he means that they're identifiable. Like if you're looking and you're like, God damn, do you see where it is? It's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, because once you're trading a lot, I don't even draw this shit anymore. It's just me. I can see it. I do it mostly for teaching, you know?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I look for when I see a chart. My eyes go from right to left and I draw lines across, and I'm like, do I see points of, where they're connecting? And
yeah. And that's like these. Yeah.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, if you get a bunch in a row, now I'm saying, okay, we not only have support, we have a demand zone.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I thought about the 103 range level or whatever. I mean, it was like 1, 2, 3. And I mean, if you zoom out, you'll probably find another one, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's not just a one-time touch and then it takes off.
Yeah.
Typically, when you get a one-time touch and then it takes off, that's what we would call support. And then it happens again, we call it support. We start to get bounce off, 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 and like Ethan said, we might could back it up. Let's take it to $1 or 60 minute.
was gonna say, because if you go to the 1 hour, like if you look over to the left, like that 103 level supported that whole most recent move up to test that 109.
This goes all the way back to the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So-
what I'm saying. I would consider that, I mean, I think you probably would too, a pretty strong level.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we go there or even close to it, you know, it gets bought up.
It does. And if you look at the 1 wick, that's what they call these over here, guys, like a candle. I use bars. I know a lot of you guys use candlesticks. There's really no difference. If you can read one, you can read the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and what we see here, I think that candlestick is fascinating in that it broke that support level, but look, it came right back and look where it closed. Right back at 103, dude.
And on the like, I have candles on my chart, and both of those, I mean, the first one is a picture perfect doji, and the next one is a slightly uglier doji, followed by, you know, as you can see, a move up. So those are things to pay attention to too.
Absolutely.
And then, like, if you look up I mean, directly above it, you have the extreme RSI. So, and that was a pretty aggressive move down. I mean, that was from 111,000 all the way to 103,500. So, I mean, that's an $8,000 drop. I mean, to get us down to where we are currently.
Now, this may look like some gibberish on here at first.
I mean, but I think it's just testament to just, you know, watch it play out, especially if you look to the left and like price went up to right at 109. I mean, there's no reason why once you break above that 105,500 level that, you know, the 109 wouldn't be your target. I mean, you might expect some reaction at the 200. If
you guys can see, I wrote stop loss zone on here. Just kind of down in that area, huh?
Yeah.
And I'd be flexible with it. If you need hard stops, typically if I need one because I'm going to sleep, you know, Bitcoin, not a bad idea.
You might want to be a little bit more liberal with it just in case.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How many times have you woke up and hit your stop and it's taken off where you thought it was going?
I mean, too many times. The analysis is on point and the stop loss was just a little too tight. Yeah, that's the worst.
That's the worst. And we saw that with that back there. If that giant long wick comes back, you're asleep. It did exactly what you thought. Fucking runs on.
Yep.
So I've taken to the of putting hard stops on half positions if I'm worried about if I went to bed and this fucker did not stop dropping. We're talking about killing an account. Well, it should only kill so much, right? Because you only got so many contracts.
Yeah.
So if you're trading futures like we do on this for something like Bitcoin, you need to understand that, at least for me, my stop loss ultimately is kind of baked into the fucking contract. Right?
Well, right, because they're going to cut you off after a certain.
Yeah, you're dead.
Usually pretty substantial.
They're going to cut you off. So if you don't do one,
you'll be glad they did too. You'll be glad they did.
I've had several where, and so I would encourage people, if you get playing with futures, put $500 in there and let's just be mentally prepared to lose it from you doing something dumb, not that the money flow didn't catch the move.
Yeah.
And then lose five, you know, if you lose 500, you lost 500. It ain't a big deal. But you're not even going to lose that. You're probably going to lose $30 on the trade, right?
Well, yeah. And too, like, you don't have the decay like with options.
That is a game changer.
So like, that's the thing is like, say your liquidation price is 75,000. Well, I mean, it could drop to 80 and then skyrocket to 200 and you're good. You know, whereas like with an option, I mean, the price decay alone would probably eat you up. Wouldn't you imagine? Like if you have a call option and it goes way down, you're cooked.
If the problem with the option game, and this is in my opinion as a trader, even if you break even, you lose. And you need to be able to break even and break even. Yeah. If every time that you're 50-50, you lose because of all the costs, then I mean, you're going to have hard.
Yeah.
I mean, in my experience, I lose about half my trades. So I need a way to make money even if I lose half my trades. And
for sure.
options with the deterioration. And now Coinbase has added the feature. They automatically roll the, I don't know if there's a lot. It didn't say there's even a convenience fee on it.
No.
It's just the standard fee. And I think they'd rather you do that than not get into a contract because they can charge you another fee, right?
Yeah.
And so I'd rather pay $1.50 and have that built in. So you really don't even have to pay attention to the goddamn contract dates.
Yeah, they roll them.
That was killing me. You think you can't be serious, G. It's like, no, I have 118 positions open, 17 properties, 3 mag, I got a lot of shit going on in my head, man. And I'll forget, what time is it? It's 7:12. They closed.
Yeah.
Or 5 o'clock, and I was going to get it right before the close. I was going to roll that contract over, and I forget. Well, it expires, and then when it opens, it's gone. It already took off, and so Coinbase rolling them over like that is a nice feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Like my other futures broker, they do the same thing. Hey, roll it to this, because the prices sometimes are substantially different. That's what threw me off. I took a trade yesterday, and I was looking. The trade was taken on the September NASDAQ contract, but I was looking at the June contract on the chart, and like I was looking at my entries and exits, and I'm like, yo, why does none of this shit line up? But yeah, so the fact that they just roll it over for you and you don't have to deal with it, I mean, they really have become, and I think will become, the go-to platform for trading, not just crypto, but eventually the NASDAQ, the S&P, and maybe just honestly just an overall Robinhood all-in-one broker, because I think that's what people want. I want my Bitcoin here. I want my VOO here. I want my, huh?
You said Robinhood.
No, I'm saying I think Coinbase could be the next
gotcha.
Like I'm talking. You want to trade futures? Cool. You want to trade crypto?
Right.
Cool. You own crypto? Cool. You have ETFs? That's cool. You have individual stocks? Bring them over. You want to trade bonds? We can do that too. I really think Coinbase is heading in that direction.
So where they actually trade stocks too.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
It surprises me they're not tokenized yet.
Well, I mean, because the CEO, I had in my notes a couple weeks ago, he said he wanted to make it, the best fintech company out there.
Yeah, I love Coinbase.
Yeah.
They've done nothing but prosper me.
Well, especially they introduced the futures trading on like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now I feel like every time I open my Coinbase, hey, we're trading this now, we're trading these. It's like, wow, good for you guys. I like it.
Me too, and I've been able to use that. Hold on, to get back into futures trading. I used to trade futures, and then the problem is a lot, it's a separate account. So, okay, now I got to fund money into this fucking account. I got this thing. I got all these things going, and it can be hard to get money over there. Where, like you say, if I can do futures where I also do this, and this, you can take profits from a win, move it to your,
right, effortlessly.
Yeah.
You're quite literally moving, bam, bam.
And I honestly, the Coinbase futures to me was much easier than trying to go with the CB with CBAT or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Or even opening it up at another brokerage. Coinbase was easier.
Well, and then you never know, are they reputable? What are the fill prices like? Like I think Coinbase changed the game when they did Coinbase Advanced.
Yeah, and I have, or is it Coinbase Advanced or one? Yes, Advanced.
Or yeah, well, Coinbase Advanced is the more like they have the Trading View integrated charts, but the Coinbase One is the $30 a month for the
right,
no commissions and all the. I think it's like you get additional interest on your USDC. It's like 4.5%, and they have some other benefits too. But
borrow against your Bitcoin to me is beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People, they just don't get it. They don't get the power of that ability.
Yeah.
To have a problem, need money, utilize your Bitcoin to solve that problem, keep the goddamn Bitcoin.
Right. While never selling it.
While never selling it. And it's possible it continues to go higher, spreading your difference. Yeah, you got to pay back the loan, but you could theoretically imagine if you could take a mortgage out at that price and then the housing doubles. I mean, it is like a mortgage in a way. I mean, as I'm sitting there saying, I'm like, I literally was in my brain. Imagine if you could buy a house and it would keep going up in value, but the loan, that's how they work. The loan.
Right.
That is the whole fucking concept. It's locking it in. That's what home ownership does. It locks in that price.
Well, it'd be like if you took a loan against your Bitcoin right now and it crashed to 60,000 and you used all the money you took as a loan and bought more Bitcoin at 60,000.
Yeah.
Like in theory, would that loan not pay itself back?
In theory, you have to be super disciplined, which I think discipline and routine, that's number one of being a good trader is have a strict trading plan. I think if you could work that out, you could follow a detailed plan that would understand the interest, when your payments are due. You could string these together, or we sit and think on them different ways. You just really need to know what's my liquid. I think Bitcoin has to fall to 55,000 for me to be liquidated.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. That's a long fucking ways down.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I can just keep buying more Bitcoin. And as long as I buy more Bitcoin, I can move Bitcoin over as collateral against that loan.
Well, and my thing above all, like you just said, I don't think, and this is probably a hot take, I don't think hedge funds, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, I don't think they would let Bitcoin drop that far. If they're loading up on 100,000, why would they not jump on the opportunity to buy it at 90 or at 80 or at 70? Obviously the farther it goes, the more you can buy. But I mean, these guys are buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin every single week to the point where it's constricting the supply of Bitcoin. Like it's almost to the point where as soon as the Bitcoin's being mined, it's being bought.
Yes. Miners we used to really gauge the market based on what miners were doing.
Well, I think they said, I put notes last week, 30% of the Bitcoin supply has shrunk in the last like 18 months. And it's due to, your MicroStrategy and your Binance and your iBit, the BlackRock Trust. I mean, they're the largest institutional holder besides Satoshi. If he's this institution, I don't know. But yeah, they said they're on track to pass up Satoshi by like next summer, I think.
Oh, Satoshi's gone.
BlackRock, baby.
BlackRock's trying to take Satoshi.
Imagine that.
Satoshi for president. I used to say that all the time. Bitcoin is gone. I met a programmer. This blew my mind. He's a software engineer. Mm-hmm. I was like, ooh, fancy. And I was like, what's up on the Bitcoin, man? How much you owe us a Bitcoin? And he goes, what? And I was like, Bitcoin. And he goes, nah, man, it's all bullshit. And I go, are you an actual software engineer? I mean, and he's like, I'll go, you design fucking programs.
Right.
He's like, yeah. It is the greatest software ever written. It has collected the most money ever. Nothing you're ever going to do will even be a speck compared to this fucking thing. And you think it's a scam. I mean, I can't even get my mind around how a developer of software code, and I asked him if he'd ever read the white paper. And he was like, no. How could you honestly make an opinion on it? Honestly, how can you make an opinion if you haven't actually studied it?
Right. You have no idea.
Yeah. It's like when you ever ask for advice and someone immediately gives you an idea, like they're listening to you, blah, 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 and they go, boom. And you're like, wow, you put 8 seconds into that. Like, maybe it's going to take a little more to think,
Right. You don't think I wouldn't have spent that same 8 seconds and came
no
up
way would have
with
come up with that 8-second idea you had, right?
Right.
I mean, maybe you're talking to Yoda. He might haven't, but it is fun. My broke friends in 8 seconds give me ideas on how to do things. It's funny to me. Yeah. So I think the Bitcoin world is changing. The way we trade it is changing. We got this new product out there. What is it called? MSX or MST?
MSTX.
No, there's the new one.
The weekly income MicroStrategy. Yeah, MST.
MST.
Sorry,
I think we can pretty much conclude we don't know shit about their software. All we know is they own a bunch of fucking Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck Michael Saylor does during the day for an actual job besides talk about Bitcoin.
No, he raises money. Hey, give me $1 billion for general corporate purposes.
So
like
I can buy Bitcoin.
You know, what other corporate expense would you have? Let me know.
Bernie Madoff is sitting in his fight going, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, right. Right. That's pretty much what I was doing. Yeah, I don't know, man. But he spins it in a way that's like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Let's do it.
But at the end of the day, it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
You buy an asset that can, but see, now this asset actually can produce cash flow for people like us through the products like Bitto, MS. I like MST because it's supposed to have a little appreciation baked in with the income. We'll see. Just remember, MicroStrategy is a leveraged play on Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
So it'll probably move more than Bitcoin. It'll probably move down more than Bitcoin. So it is a way to play catch up on Bitcoin. If stock market crashes, one way to catch up on Bitcoin is to buy these companies that have exposure to Bitcoin. Risk management is always, just a second ago I was saying about as a trader, you need to have a daily routine. You can't just trade when you have time. You're not going to be good at it. You need to create the fucking time to trade. It's a different way of looking at it. My cousin
and trade at the right times of day.
And that may take a minute to figure out.
Yeah.
My cousin texted me and said she was quitting her job and she's thinking about some trading here and there. That's how she worded it.
I don't think so.
I mean, you just show up, and I would just show up when you win, take that money and leave, and just do that.
And when you need more, come on back.
Come on back, man. Here and
there. To find us. Nah, man. I
was happy she even brought up trading. I'm gonna leave her alone on that for a while. We'll get back to that comment she made. I told her that.
Bitcoin just broke above the 20 on the 1 hour, 104,740.
All right, so let's look at it on the 1 minute. And like my man was saying, on the 1 minute, it looks like just a hellacious move, right?
Yeah.
And it looks easy. I mean, they're easy moves.
I mean, but if you look from the low to the high, I mean, that is a $500 range. So
right. But look how many exits, though. I mean, there's at least 4 sell-offs. I mean,
Yeah.
So that it's, can be a little expensive on that. The way around that is what we talked about. We just take the time frame, right? So we take it up to a 5 minute. I think 5 minute comes a little more tradable.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you. When you go to like the 1 minute, it's such a widely or a highly priced asset that I don't know. I like just looking, the 30 minute, like you said, and the 1 hour too are very, very clean. And I even sometimes I'll split the 4 hour and the 1 hour and look at the 2. Sometimes the 2 hours pretty clean too. But
so yeah, man, I think we wanted to cover ranges. I think we've done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe some homework. If you're watching this, get out there, man, mark some ranges on your charts and see what you come up with. I like when people stand in front of my door and look in the window.
Are they doing that right now?
Yeah, they don't know. They think I have people think it's a store sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Mark these ranges, and if you have any questions, I'm sure they could reach out to any one of us. I know
I'm pretty active on Substack too, so people are always more than welcome to hit me up or whatever.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Down in this, I haven't said it. I usually say it about every 5 minutes. Down in the show notes, there's a link to the MFG Bitcoin Trade Report, or hit that QR code up there, and you can get on board with us. And we're just trading the fuck out of Bitcoin and
There we are.
just following it, tracking it every fucking day. It will not run without us.
Well, and we're posting updates, chart updates throughout the week, and whatever. Like yesterday, we had the Fed rate decision. We posted, hey, keep an eye out for this. Just keep people in the loop, because as much as it's a digital asset, it is very much influenced by, the United States fiscal policy and whatnot, and moves the same way, or I shouldn't say the same way, but similar to the S&P and the Qs and things like that.
Yep. Hold on. I'm meeting with a young rapper today, and I'm late, but he's late too. So I found that rappers don't too much give a fuck what time it is.
Not a single fuck.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that camp too most of the time. So it's that gets difficult, man. People will be like, "What time are you going to be there?" Man, I'm headed that way.
Right. Here, if you go to the 5 minute, like, I think the 5 minutes like a picture perfect trade. It put that anchor in right, like almost dead nuts on 104,000. You had a little bit of sideways price movements, built the stage one, and then look at that volume. Boom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like the ideal. I think as a trader, you have to be, every time you enter that setup, be cautiously hopeful that that's the result you're going to get. Not always, but I don't know. I think you just gotta, I'm just delusional like that. I think every time I see my setup, that's what's going to happen, and I think that's what makes it worth taking.
Oh yeah. You should visualize it, right?
Yeah.
I just assume it is. And then of course, when it doesn't work, I kind of, I assumed it could have done that too, man. I don't know. So I map it out, and then in my brain, I see the pattern. Like, so seeing it, and I go, and this is not that hard, but after a while, you're like, well, the RSI is going to hit right around how many times have you seen on a chart where the previous run, so right in here, so right around that, what we say, 104, 800, a little more?
Yeah, right around there.
That the RSI goes extreme. And if you look at that 69.8, so in other words, I could have told you it was time to trim profits without even looking at the RSI.
And I think that chart setup should tell you, the same thing too. Like, if you're coming into a previous resistance, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think very rarely are you just going to blast through it with no type of.
And if you do, bad problem to have. And if you don't, you now can actually build out that size position, because let's look at it. It's turning around right now if you look at it. But we can build this box in here. Let me see. Oh, it didn't save it. But right in here can start to build out a stage 3 box, huh?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what it did here. And we'll probably have the exact same pattern.
Well, and like you could say too, especially when you zoom into smaller time frames, I think, once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the stages, like especially stage 3s and stage 1s, can be, a stage 3 could be one doji candle followed by a strong push down, but you could still argue that it was a stage 3. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just things but especially like if you I was looking back at Bitcoin earlier, and there was a doji on like the daily right on the 200, and followed by a subsequent move. So it's just little things like certain candles where they present themselves at resistance and support levels, in addition to the moving averages and all the other indicators within the system that
time continuity you're describing, that shit takes time to understand.
Yeah, and I think I kind of gloss over it, but yeah, it does take a long time. And it takes a long time of just looking at
charts.
Okay, charts.
Most people will tell me they understand it. I know they don't. Like, I can look at them in the eyes and tell them they don't get it.
There's even still times where you're like, fuck, 1 hour looks great, 4 hour looks like shit, daily looks like shit. You know what I mean? And it's not an exact science. But yeah, I even still find times where I'm like, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do today, you know?
So let's say you're extreme right here. You got on the 5 minute, you got a doji, previous high, right? And the RSI is banging. That's a trim. But
yeah,
like my man Ethan was saying, what if we jump to the 1 hour and we look and it's just now breaking out?
Yeah.
That's going to tell you that any sell off on that 5 minute is probably short lived, right?
Yeah.
And so be quick to get out, but be just as quick to get right back in.
Yeah,
And
I think when you flip through the time frames, all of the time frames should, I mean, or majority of them should lead in the direction of your bias. So like if I want to go long and the daily candle is a big red candle, probably not a good idea because the 1 minute I saw a doji. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's use your head, you know, but like, yeah, go
right. A doji on a 1 minute doesn't outweigh a doji on the 30 minute.
Right. But that's like I was telling you, like I'd have loss after loss after loss, and you go to like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, or the 4 hour of the daily, and it's like it was pointed straight the fuck down. Where did you think it was gonna go? But if you're focused too much on the smaller time frames like I was, you would have never known that. So like it's cool, yeah, 1 minute looks good, but let's see what the 5 minutes doing, you know, because like I said, you know, 5 1 minute candles and a 5 minute candle, 3 5 minute candles and a 15 minute, etc. You know, I mean, it does take time, but yeah, just go through, you know, flip through them, you know. I think,
and I practice this even today. Like today, I'm fixing to go up to this bar, meet with this guy. I don't, you know, I'll have time everywhere I go. I take my backpack,
right.
and I'll have my thing. Or you got your phone, but I'll take my backpack. I carry 2 pads now, almost, because I'll get stuck somewhere for an hour. If I got both my pads, dude, I can crank some shit out on Substack. I can pull up some chart. I can get some work done, and my brain went dead there. I had what I was going to say, and then I looked over. But just spending time in what I mean, honestly, it's the money flow. Money flows in, money flows out. That's what's happening, you know, and we can measure that flow out and flow in by volume. I don't spend much time on volume. I mean, it can add, that's another little notch you could use to add into your trading. You're another, what do they call it? Like an arrow in the quill, you know? It's not the secret. No one thing is the secret other than fucking price. Just break it out and run it, man. Like that's the indicator, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Like
I think you start to get it once. I mean, you don't even have to be like super fluent in all of these concepts, but once you acknowledge the fact that they exist and it's more than just, oh, look at the daily chart, look at the 4 hour. And it's like, well, no, right? Look at the daily, but look at the 4 hour. How are they presenting themselves, right? The candles or the bars or whatever. What about the 1 hour? You know, is it, you know, like you got to put time and effort, you know, like you can't just magically, oh, bam, cool, it makes sense. But I think that goes with anything, whether it's trading or playing an instrument or anything. You know, if you don't ever put the time in, you'll never be good.
Right. If you watch anybody plays guitar, like I'm a guitar player, there's times where I just sit back and I'll be like, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. Wah, wah. And I'm just sitting there playing with it. I do that with charts. You know, I'll be sitting looking at a chart and I'm like, you see something on a 30 minute, you're like, wow. Start playing with it, you know, take it through time. Back. None of that has anything to do with entry, exit, target, or how much money did I make. It's just like trying to see the flow.
And I think too, time frame continuity helps with like, so like, and you know, so say, you know, on the daily chart, strong push to the downside. So like what I would consider setting up its bottom wick, right? Setting like the daily candle has to flip bearish before it can flip. Well, it doesn't have to, but you know, well then like if you can spot the exhaustion on the lower time frames, right? Okay, cool. That wick on the daily chart's pushing up. You know, I think time frame continuity helps me feel more confident in trades, period, whether it's on Bitcoin or whether it's on a swing trade or a buy and hold entry or whatever. You know, I think it's a slept on skill, you know, I really do. And I don't think outside of you, I don't think very many people talk about it.
No, that's why I'm badass.
Right.
I mean, the money flow and the way we teach and what we talk about is the holy grail, if there is one. You know, there is no, once you come to realize that all systems kind of suck in that they all lose a lot, and that ultimately at the end of the day, the reason it works is you're doing the same thing over and over. And the reason it works is you're betting size and then maintaining that, being consistent.
Yeah.
And most strategies, the weak point will be you showing up and you're betting or you're position sizing. That's what'll kill you.
Right.
I mean, I've met people that win almost all their trades and still lose money.
Well, and too, like I think taking losses with grace. Like you'll never be a good trader and investor if you can't lose money. I
mean, once it's over. Like it doesn't even, I mean, that takes time to get there.
Oh, for sure. You know,
and I'm like, man, I didn't even want that fucking money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I'm happy. You know, the further you can get from it fucking with you, the better. Yeah.
Well, especially as long as you're practicing proper sizing, it will never be a loss that the next trade can't easily cover.
Yeah. It's actually a win if you followed your strategy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you can have a losing trade and it was still a good trade.
Still a good trade, man. We should end on that. That's beautiful.
I agree. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man, that was like it was planned or something.
It really did seem like it, didn't it? Man, yeah, you can't make that up. Mic drop.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem, GP. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, and if you guys need any help, man, reach out to us. Do us a favor. Click that QR code or look down in the show notes and you can get on our email list for Substack, and we're going to try to do some big things over there. We've also got 2 other letters, and we've got I think we got some stuff that can help people, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of good resources you guys have.
Yeah, man. Appreciate
way you think they would take money off the table, right? Like maybe you're doing it just to represent their interest, but I don't see the world that way. I think that Bitcoin is sound money. It's the technically superior asset class compared to the dollar, the euro, the peso, the bolivar, compared to a stock index, compared to gold, compared to silver, compared to everything you can conceivably buy. It is technically thermodynamically superior as an asset. If you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.